Hello, hello. This is Dr. Jatan Dorsey, yet again coming to you on this beautiful, amazing, fantastic day. And this is the 10th day of the Intentional Living Virtual Tea. Hey. And here's the thing. In the email that you received, I did mention that there would be some sort of a twist, right? Well, here's the twist.
I am the twist. I'd like to think I'm a little bit more than just a twist, but I'll take the twist, meaning that it's a turn from its normal course.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So before we jump in, I have to introduce the twist, which is, or who is, my husband, Mr. Floyd Dorsey the Fourth.
I am.
Woo woo.
So excited to be here. As Dr. Jatan has put it, I am the twist, and my assignment today.
Yes, assignment
today. I have plenty others throughout the day or throughout the week. Before this portion of the day, it is to give you all what you want, and that's to know more about Dr. Jatan, about the work she's doing, about this amazing tea that's coming up. I know it's the second annual. Second,
One,
number two. So it's always good. It's always exciting because you want to do more and do better than you did last time. To bring in more excitement, more people, more giving. I know you are such a benevolent spirit. So let's tell us more about the tea that's coming up and all the work that's led you to this point so far.
Oh goodness, so that's going to be a mouthful. But if you follow me, which you should be, and if you aren't, shame on you. But you know about my book, Intentional Living, which I talk about 30 principles towards increasing your peace of mind while being productive as well. And that was the initial, I will say, inspiration behind the Intentional Living Tea. That is the reason why last year I hosted the inaugural Intentional Living High Tea in Dallas, Texas. And during that session, I was able to acknowledge and recognize some women who have done some great things in my life, for me, my career, whether it be whatever aspect of my life, they helped me along the way. So I wanted to take that opportunity to be productive, to be intentional, and to really live out the dream and the thought within my book.
Got it. Well, that's great to know. So with all that, and you gave us an amazing background from the past and bringing us up to where we were, some of the books you've written, but why a tea? I mean, why not just a brunch, or why not just another award ceremony or something like that? Just get on a, like what made it a tea?
Well, I think you mentioned, one of the words you mentioned in there was key, another. And that's what I didn't want to do, another anything, right? Not to say that a tea, this is the first time ever for a tea. However, this is an opportunity for me to give my guests, my clients, and whoever attend a different experience. It's not just an event, it's an experience.
Okay, I like it. It is an experience. And I'll tell you what, I'm sure for those who come in contact with you, daily, can really testify and say that encountering you and being with you is an experience within itself.
Yes.
So with that being said, we do have the tea coming up. I know that some of the virtual teas, like this is the closeout for the virtual, and you had some amazing ladies to come together that you were able to engage, great dialogue. So tell us more about that and who these phenomenal women are.
I would love to talk about my super friends, because I have to tell you, the virtual tea this is the first year for the virtual tea, right? However, it is a culmination of my super friends who have offered their time. These are some busy ladies that are doing some amazing things in the community and their businesses and their lives. And they chose to spend some time with me to share with my audience some of the things that they've learned along their journey towards success, as they continue to climb in success as well. But the purpose of the virtual tea was to get you geared up and ready, fired up for the live tea, right? So it's setting the stage, setting the tone.
Okay. All right. No, it's good. It's good. Setting the tone.
Setting the tone.
Okay.
So at this point, if you've been following, if you've been listening to any of the virtual video or virtual audios, you know that this thing has been on fire. So it's not going to change. I'm just going to say that. It ain't going to change.
No changing.
No
it's
changing.
On fire.
It's going to continue to burn. So since we're talking about teas, we're going to continue to brew, stir, pour into you the greatness that we have. So to answer the second part of your question, though, about my super friends who were a part of this virtual tea. So I had 9 other ladies who are, again, I have to say it again and again and again, these are my super friends. These are some amazing women whom, if you do not know, now you know, because you've been following and listening, right? So I had Yolanda Harper. She was day 1. Awesome lady. She told us about making great deposits into your life so that those withdrawals are good, right?
It's a good thought.
Good
I like
thought.
it.
Yeah.
Investing in you
Investing in you.
so that you may pour out, or withdrawals or anything that comes out of you will be a benefit not only to yourself but to many other people around.
Absolutely.
Value. I love it.
Value. And that's what each one of these ladies did. They added some value. So I'm just going to share a little nugget from each lady so that you can just get a little taste of what you missed or what you heard and may have missed even during your hearing. But the second lady, Rhonda.
You said, wait, before you go to
Okay.
Rhonda, I'm sorry. You said you're going to give us,
excited,
you're
y'all.
going to give us a nugget. Okay.
Yes.
But what if I want the whole chicken? Like,
See, if you want the whole chicken, we'll talk about getting the whole chicken in the
Okay.
end.
All right. You get me pumped
But
up
look.
with the very first one.
Right. So
all
we
right.
giving you a little teacup, right?
Okay.
But if you want the whole kettle,
Uh-huh.
it's some more to come at the end and
Okay,
find
so I
out.
have to wait.
So stay tuned.
It's always greater later.
Greater
Okay.
later. So with Rhonda Knight Boyle, she is the Strength Finder coach. You don't know what Strength Finders are? Shame on you yet again. Because
Yeah.
if you don't know about Gallup, you've got to get that in your life.
I agree.
Because what Rhonda shared with us is who I am and who I am not. It's okay. Either way, it's okay. But in order to do that, in order to know that, you've got to find out who you are. And the Gallup test is one thing or one way to identify who you are.
I like that. Like that. One more time. Who I am and who I am not.
It's both okay.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
And it's really, truly, I like that because it's the contrast, right? You can truly find yourself or define yourself more and more as you realize what you're not.
Yep.
And that begins to be, the total picture
Absolutely.
of who you are. But you have to know these things and not be afraid to step out and say, good.
Absolutely.
All right,
And
sure.
with the Gallup, she made sure to let us further know that she is not the creator of the Gallup test. However, she is, again, the Strength Finder coach. So if you take the Gallup test, she can help you break it down, reassess, and understand exactly what your top 5s are.
Top 5s. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's more in the Gallup. So
More in the Gallup.
if people want to learn more about that and learning more about themselves as a result, then she's a good contact
Good
or resource
contact.
to leverage. Okay,
Absolutely,
great.
absolutely. So then we go into Sharon Jameson. She always talks about soaring higher, which this lady here, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna say this probably about each of them.
Okay.
Right?
Super friends.
Super friends,
It
right?
comes with superpowers. I'm assuming. I'm going to go with that.
Let's stick
I'm
with
still
it.
learning.
I love it, superpowers. So she talks about, and again, what I'm sharing are just tidbits. Like, as I mentioned throughout the sessions, these are just sugar cubes, right? Some people say nuggets. We said nuggets throughout as well, but
Nuggets.
sugar cubes to sweeten your tea is what these are. So you have got to listen if you did not, because these are just a little tad bit of what was shared in the conversations. But with Sharon Jameson, she talked about us people, wanting to be or being a public success while being a private failure.
Now, that's one that I'd love to explore a little bit more. So, private failure, and we want to be a public success. So, we want to be a public success while being a private failure. That's a fear, right? Or is that something people are fearing? Or
Well,
how does that work?
I would say that it's a challenge that many of us, I'll include myself because this is about us growing, right?
Right.
So when we talk about being a public success, that means, for instance, since now we have social media, right? You can post and share anything, right?
Absolutely.
You never know what's real, though.
What you mean?
You never know what's real. People can post anything and not necessarily.
All right, got it. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No, but I agree. Go ahead.
You get it? So I'm just using that as an example to paint and illustrate a better understanding, right? So with social media, you can easily post whatever and say that you've achieved this goal, you've made this much money, but when you turn that camera off, is it real?
Is it real?
Or is it a private failure? Public success.
Public success, private failure. I love it.
So as she goes even more into this second thing, I had to add this second one. She says, some of us are buying high-priced items to cover up low self-esteem. We both got quiet on that
Yeah,
one.
had to get that a moment of silence because I
Yeah.
appreciate that thought so much that, I think many of us, even those who have succeeded or are really excelling today, that's something that still may seep in, right, into your lives. No matter where you are, no matter how much money you have or whatever, we still find ourselves dealing with that particular challenge.
Right.
And the two principles you mentioned from her, they both go hand in hand. Right?
Absolutely.
It's one is we want to give this superficial facade, while inside, where it really matters and really counts, there's the pain or the hurt or the failure or whatever it may be. Maybe it's that private moment. But truly, it's embracing who you are. And I think it goes back to the one
Prior
before.
to. Absolutely. I was just
So
going to say that.
it ties together.
It does.
It's just
Intentional. It's all
intentional.
intentional.
There you go.
So as we go into day 4, we had Felicia Foster. She talked about how it's important to understand and know when you need to move folks from the front row to the nosebleed section.
Front row to the nosebleed. So if I'm at an event, if I'm on the front row, then that means I'm really engaging, being interactive, or feel like I'm participating in the event that's going on.
Not only that, you're closer
I'm closer.
to that of which everyone is there to see.
But if I'm not truly bringing value,
There you go. Keep going.
then what's the need for me being that close to that particular person, that event, or whatever it may be?
Absolutely.
So, suffice to say, that person would likely need to be in the nosebleed.
If you're draining me, if your vibrations aren't high, you're not
Okay.
helping me continue to vibe or to act in my greatness, then it's time to make some shifts.
Okay. So then, I'm just with that thought, and I like it. But what about the people that are really close to you? They need to be fair. They want to be fair. And these are ones that, may not really realize that they have this inner glow about themselves to bring that value or to pour into you. Are they ones that you want to keep closer? And again, that may be a question for
Felicia,
for
right?
Felicia, right? It's just a thought, Felicia.
Right.
But I'm real interested in knowing that, because at which point and how do you draw that line? Because you have individuals who truly want to be close to you because you have something that's radiating and they want a part
Absolutely.
of that value.
But I think you'll be able to identify the difference in that person and the other person that we would call a hater or an energy drainer, right? So we'll be able, you have to be inclined enough or use your discernment enough to know the difference between those two types of people.
So Felicia, for the record, we need more from you on that. I think it's a phenomenal thought, and identifying the individuals that are around you. I think that's key, and then I think it can bring a lot of values for all of our listeners. So
Right.
Felicia, more to come, I hope, as well as for everybody else.
Yes,
So
yes,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry, I'll let you continue.
He's getting excited here, but that's okay
Yeah.
because if you've been listening yet again, I know you had a lot of excitement yourselves. So day 5 was Dr. Taka Cash, whom I said, sister, have you thought about ministry? I'm just saying, because she went on another level on us, but she took us to a place of which we had to do some thinking, right? We talked about mental health. We talked about how that applies in our lives and how can we help others whom we love that may be experiencing mental health issues. But one thing that she said, and she emphasized, is that fear, you have no place in my life. And it was important to her and to us during that conversation that we encourage you to say that same thing. Fear, you have no place in my life. And on top of that, one thing she talked about with her success, and again, we talked about how each of these ladies have achieved success, how they continue to maintain it. But she said, you must die a little every day in order to achieve the success that you desire.
So I take that to be that you truly have to give a part of yourself up so that you may gain the broader self in the process of growing.
Absolutely.
Because all of you today can't go with all of you to your future destination. So there is a refinement process. I see from her. Now, I haven't engaged her, but just thinking about that thought, and again, I appreciate all of these great thoughts from all these amazing super women.
Yes.
But I can see that. So that's a very good thought. And there's truly value in it. We want more from you as well.
I think that's the consensus for all.
I guess we can say that. Yeah, absolutely.
So day 6, Star Williams, who told us to push forward despite whatever it may look like, whether it looks good, whether it looks bad, push forward, continue, do not stop.
Pushing forward.
Yeah. So not giving up.
I think that thought of not giving up is something that, people say it all the time, right? And it begins to be one of those things that people just blow by and not really appreciating.
Becomes kind of cliche.
Exactly, unappreciating the value. So for you, and I know I'm going to transition to you, and you're going to finish your list. I apologize, but for you, what does that mean for you not giving up, Dr. Jatan, on some of the things that you've pushed down a path to achieve and accomplish in your life? What are some of those not giving up moments that you push forward through to reach any level of success that you have so far?
Well, the first that comes to mind is business in general, because I will have you know, Dr. Jatan, speaker, coach, author, professor, that's not my first business, right?
No.
Right?
It is your family, right? Your husband and all.
Yes, but we're talking in a different way. We're talking from a business. See, the husband went back to the house, but right now we're talking about business.
Okay,
You always first,
it's
baby.
hard to separate.
You
it
always
bleeds over.
no,
right?
it shouldn't.
Okay.
I think you're telling on me. I don't know if you're trying to give me a message. But no. So what I'm saying is, as an entrepreneur, newer. Okay, not a wife. we're talking separate of those two right now for the moment. For the moment. So this is not my first attempt or business venture.
Absolutely.
So initially, I'll say I went into event planning, right? And as I went through my process and experienced event planning, I further learned that this may not be exactly where my purpose lies. But did I give up? No, because I'm here, right? I'm here and I'm functioning in my purpose, as I'd like to call it right now.
Right.
So when we talk about pushing forward despite what it looks like, in that instance, it could have looked like the end for me as far as an entrepreneur, right?
It could.
However, for me, that's not the end for me. I'm going to continue to strive and drive towards those things that I aspire to achieve in my life. And if I get tired, I don't quit. I rest, but I don't quit.
So how did you know to transition, though? A lot of people reach a defining moment. And I truly think in this occasion, it's a fine line between when do I know to continue to push forward for something, or when is it time for me to just make a transition because there's something else more that I should be going, a direction I should be going more into that I'm more passionate about than the direction I was going before. Some people will take that initial thing that you described with your initial business venture as something I need to continue to push forward and never give up down that path.
Gotcha.
As opposed to saying, you know what, I like it, I enjoy the entrepreneur part, but that thing, I had to experience this thing to know that it's not for me. I think you had a lady that was speaking on part of that a little bit earlier, I think, in our meeting today. So, how do you know when it's time to transition?
From my perspective, and my advice would be to really, truly pay attention to the process. Pay attention to the journey and pay attention to the messages that you acquire along the way. And really get in tune with what it is that you aspire to be. So that goes to clarity is king. If you don't have the clarity in the beginning, then you don't really know exactly what it is that you want to aspire towards. So then you're just not intentional.
I like that.
Right?
Clarity is queen. That's good.
Queen. Okay. He switched it a little bit. But absolutely. I think having that clarity and focusing on that, because once you have the clarity and the plan, then you have a direction in which, or a light to guide you. And if you see that, something is distracting you, or if you see that you're not as excited about it or happy about it, it doesn't fulfill you, then it's time to reassess. Not to say that just because those feelings come about that you should just deter or pivot, but absolutely pay attention to those messages.
Right. I think that's key.
Right. So we were on day 6, so day 7, Dr. Vicki Johnson. This is I just love me some Dr. Vicky. But again, I love all the ladies. That's why they were part of the platform, right? With Dr. Vicky Johnson, she talked about under-committing but over-delivering, because we talk a lot about how we better balance or maintain peace of mind in life, and that was one of her big sticklers, is to make sure that when you do commit, you overcommit or undercommit. Undercommit and over-deliver. I almost had it backwards there.
Well, it's okay. It happens, I'm sure.
Yes.
In both cases, in both directions, I'm sure it happens.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've experienced some of those yourself.
Yes.
Give us an example. I know you may have to go back deep into your...
When I undercommitted
yeah.
and over-delivered?
And vice versa.
Okay.
I want to know how...
See,
I just want to know.
stepping on toes.
We want to know more about her as well. I know she's, giving great praise to these amazing women that were on her. That were a part of this virtual tea. But I want to know more about you. We want to know more about you in the process, because I know you're one who's bringing it together, and we'll have some of the closeout thoughts. But as we go through this process, I want to know some of your personal experiences as it relates to these phenomenal principles pulled from these great women.
Right. So under committing and over delivering, I'd like to think that it's a common thread in my life, because one thing that I won't say that I struggle with, but that's very near and dear to my heart, is to not let anyone down that I make a commitment to. So that's very important to me when I do make a commitment, especially to this one right here. Because I don't want to deal with no disappointments. I don't want to be disappointed, if I could talk. I don't want to be disappointed,
Right.
so therefore I don't want to disappoint anyone else. So if at any cost that I can avoid that act of disappointing, then that's what I do. That's my approach, is to under commit and over serve. So both are happy in the end, right? Are you?
When it's...
Why did he pause?
Because I had to think about that. Because it depends on what we're talking about.
We're talking about this. This
Did
is a
we
different
just-
creature, though.
Did we just transition to home, or are we still?
I think you were about to go there.
I was about to be honest with you, because
Because his commitments are always, his expectations
There we go.
are always high.
Right.
Right? So I'll let you elaborate.
No,
as you
no,
were about to.
I think you just said it all.
Yes.
But
So
just
that's
what it
his
is.
expectation anyway.
Right. I have high expectations for individuals, especially those in my close inner circle. High expectations, a high level of accountability for one another. But I have those probably even higher expectations for myself, and so I wouldn't personally expect anything, from Dr. Zitan as my wife, that I wouldn't expect to give her or be for her, right? So it's a continual push, as you all may have picked up right now.
Reciprocation.
Yeah, as you all may have picked up so far, we really push and drive each other in so many different ways. But again, we'll transition back
to the list, right?
the list.
We're almost there towards the end. So number 8, day 8, was Dr. Katrina Pullum, and she talked about a personal experience of hers and got really transparent about health and how important that is in life. And she particularly said that God will wipe away everything just to give you better.
God will wipe away
Everything just to give you better.
Now, I know there's action involved for the individuals to follow that path of receiving better. Mm-hmm. And it's not an idle thing, I would imagine, that if someone goes through something and just sit idle and then magically is wiped away
Absolutely
by
not.
God, right?
No, right.
And so there's work. I know the words that she pulled from Dr. Trina is something that's in action, and there are things that you're doing. So we definitely want to make sure we truly represent the spirit in which Dr. Trina communicated.
Right.
But I think that there's true value in that, in having an understanding on when it's time to work and when it's time to allow God, allow the being to help assist yourself in growth in the direction you want to go. So I like that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. So then we have Dr. Kimberly Ellison. She was day 9. And what she talked about was Stop trying to get an A plus in every aspect of your life. Instead, pursue purpose over perfection.
Wow. Purpose over perfection.
Yes.
I like the A plus part.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do. Probably because that's something that I even struggle with at times, trying to be an A plus in every single thing. And I'll tell you, it will probably drive you crazy if nothing else. But nonetheless, I think for you though, Dr. Chun, you're such a high achiever in everything you do, and with the statement of trying to get an A plus in everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
How do you balance? Like, how do you balance to know when it's time to really push for that, A plus, or when it's time to not push so hard for any particular aspect of it?
Right.
Because sometimes things don't matter as much, and we tend
Right.
to make them matter more than they really should. So.
And I think that goes back to the conversation that I did have with Dr. Kimberly Ellison during her session, and that's prioritizing. Sometimes there isn't a balance, and when we try to get an A plus in everything, we find ourselves stressed and strained. Whereas it's more important to identify what's priority, what's important. Those are two different things as well,
Right. But
Understanding.
tell us more about that. Yes.
Look, he raised up on that.
I did. I'm gonna
So,
sit back a little bit more. My excitement pulls me up.
right. So when we talk about priority, that is something that's probably going to wreak havoc in other areas of your life if you don't handle it right away, right?
Okay.
And we talk about important. There could be a lot of things that are important, but it can probably still wait until tomorrow.
Right.
So understanding the difference between what is a fire that needs to be put out versus what's important that needs to get done. However, me not doing it today will not be the end of the world.
Amazing. Well put.
Yes.
So, we've talked about all of these great women, and for me, I've been able to learn just so much and be able to appreciate the value that they brought, just even in this setting.
Right.
Although I haven't heard every transcript or every taping or recording that you have with each lady, I know that I've shared, and you shared so many great things about them
Right.
throughout the process. So from that, I appreciate it because it's been truly a value add in our household. And I'm sure and hope that it's the same for everyone else. So, but back to you. So, we have the actual tea coming up.
Yes.
And it's exciting.
So
It's
exciting.
good. And after the tea, though, after the virtual tea, so what's next? Like, how do you then move forward with everything else you have going on? Like, what's the plan then? Because you've created great momentum, I think, pulling these things together, getting everything rolling at this particular pinnacle point, leading up to the tea. I'm always looking forward. I'm sure you are too.
Right.
Then what? What's next?
Well, you can't share all of the secrets, right?
You
You gotta leave something to the imagination.
Okay.
But I always got something brewing, just like this tea, literally and figuratively. But I definitely have some great things in store, not to mention the programs that I do offer, which you can find those on my website. If it's not too early to share that information, we can always share it again and again at the
Please
end,
feel free
right?
to share it. We'll plug it in throughout this whole thing.
But definitely check out my website, www.drjatun.com. That's drjatun.com, and you'll find more information about the programs that I offer, the books that I've written, and yeah, there's going to be yet another. I love twists. I'm just saying, I love a little twist to keep you on your toes. So if you are in the Dallas area this coming weekend on Saturday, you need to attend the live tea, because there, to your point, will be yet another piece to my puzzle of me giving back, me helping the community, and helping my clients and even those potential clients as well. So without telling you exactly what's in store, I just want you to continue to follow me so that you can get the first dibs on this stuff, these goody good treats that are coming.
Goody good treats.
Goody good. And he knows I love treats, so.
That would be another hour just talking about her passion and conviction to receiving treats.
Yes.
But that's another time. So what can the people truly expect to get out the tea? I know you've been busy with coordinating, organizing, responding to requests for people looking forward to attending. I think it's really probably filling up more than what you truly anticipated or projected. But for those that are attending, what can they expect to get out of it? And for those that are not, unfortunately, I want you to know what you're missing.
Absolutely.
So can you give us at least a little commercial of what the people could get out of it?
Well, with the live tea, each year there is a different spin on the tea. And this year we are bringing awareness to Alzheimer's disease, which is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month in June. So it was ideal to combine the two. Not only that, but we have, both my husband and I have personal experience with Alzheimer's, being that his grandmother and my grandmother alike are dealing with a form of Alzheimer's, which is dementia. So we wanted to bring awareness to that disease, and we will have a speaker that will come and share some insight on how to, some preventative measures, right? Not just talking about the disease itself, but helping those who are, not dealing with the disease necessarily, but showing us how we can better maintain and sustain our mental state now to avoid that stage later. In addition to that, we have entertainment, right? We have a musician that's coming. We have a poet that's going to be there. We have food. We have prizes, games, lots of things in store for a great evening that is a party for a cause with class. Got to add that. A party for a cause with class.
Oh boy. I'm excited.
Very.
Oftentimes when Dr. Jatan does events, I tend to just enjoy watching her in her glow as she prepares for the events, as she actually engage at the events, and then her thrill of relief for success after the events, on how much success and how many people benefited from it. So just this whole process, from the point at which she begins to think about an idea until it's perfected and complete, it's always my joy to watch her in the essence of her being and living in her true purpose. I'm not sure if I've shared that with her, but on camera, I can do it to the day, because I appreciate that, and it's nothing more beautiful than watch her be her and her purpose, right? So
that's amazing.
It is. So I appreciate that, but I do want to give the people a little bit more, about you. And I was just speaking on you and the way you put these things together and how you're living out your purpose. You're involved with so many different things. What is it that people don't know about you? Like, give us something that you don't know. That's
business related. What are we talking here?
It could be business. It could be, personal. It could be however you want to. I want to give the people something a little bit more about the passions and about the challenges, about your vision, whatever it may be. I want to give them a little bit more, about you. And the more they know, I think I also, as over the years, continue to learn, continue to build with you. So give us something. What?
See, you want to put me on the spot.
I do.
Well, we can start by going back to my point when I was talking about me starting out as an entrepreneur and quickly learning that what the endeavor was that I started wasn't particularly where I wanted to be. However, even though there was a slight pivot in the direction, I can still see the crossover. So me experiencing those instances of growth in those areas of those businesses that I attempted to, or I hate to say attempted to, that I established and then later learned that, my interest wasn't as high as I thought it would be. But for instance, when I spoke about event planning, right? And you think about it now, we just talked about my virtual tea. We talked about my live tea. Those are events, right? So I didn't literally give up event planning, right? It's still an aspect that I enjoyed. It just wasn't the bigger picture.
Got it.
There was so much more in store for me and my purpose. So it's important to me to continue to learn myself and pay attention to those messages as I go through the journey of life, of business, and take heed to the messages that I'm receiving.
And throughout the process, you're continually receiving feedback from yourself or from whatever that's going on.
Right, from myself, from my resources, from the people that I connect with, and making sure that in those connections that there is relationships that are being nurtured, right, from both ends, which is, a testament to this virtual tea. Like, these super friends of mine did not say yes just because we were in passing and didn't know each other, didn't have conversations, right? So I think in all that I'm saying is that there is a lesson in all the blessings. So as you continue through your life, through your business, whatever aspect it is of your life, pay attention to the process, appreciate the process, enjoy the process, right?
Yes.
And share the process.
I receive a lot of the process. I do. But largely, it's fun, though. The challenges are fun. The victories, or what may seem as a failure, or the setbacks, that's fun because it's only an opportunity to grow, right? We grow through those things, and we can overcome them. Just like all of you, right? Those challenges you face is truly just an opportunity to grow, and embrace them as such, and growth will be yours.
As they say, fail forward.
Fail forward.
If you decide to look at it as failure, think of it more as failing forward. That means you're closer to whatever it is that you're aspiring towards.
Going forward. Keep moving. So any closing thoughts? I know we're wrapping up, and I said closing thoughts, but we have to do this again because there's so many other questions that I don't want to ask.
As if he can't ask me off camera?
No, I want to ask on camera because for the record, it's recorded. So once it's out there, I'll have this information. It's all for me. I want it to myself. No, but we'll have this information, and it will give you all more insight on, the person behind Dr. Jatan.
I like that idea.
Right? I want you all to really see the woman that not only that I see, but in some of our private times. But I think what you'll be surprised is that the same person that you see right now on camera or in public, it's only, I would say it's only a small piece of how much more she is in private. And she's so much more to bring to you all, so much more to give to the world. What you've seen is truly who she is and what she is to me. But I think that it's only right that you all get to see, I'm not saying all the beauty that I get to see from her in private, but there's a limit, right? But it's so much more, and I think you all, as she continues on her journey, you all will begin to see more and more of that and appreciate the true, genuine value that she brings not only to myself, but to everyone she encounters, the impact she makes in everything that she does. So please, let's close this out, Dr. Jatan.
Okay, so I'd like to first say thank you, husband, for coming on and allowing me to share you with the audience. For one, you did a great job, right? So let me tell you, before we even get to the closeout, that he is, giving me my props, but I must give him some props as well, because this is an awesome man. And if you don't know him, you got to get to know him. And a way that you can do that is, again, going to my website, because we are also speakers together.
We are.
So there's a lot of wisdom, knowledge, entertainment, I'm just saying, all stored up in this man here. So I look forward to you all connecting with us. In addition to Dr. Jatan, there's Fortune. So I look forward to you connecting with us so that we can come and speak at your events, to your audiences. We do coaching as well, so just connect with us, right? I had to throw that out there because he was giving me all my props. He got
really
some too, I'm just saying.
I do, it's good. I appreciate the love. I don't want to steal the love, but I appreciate the love that's come my way. I was thinking about, you mentioned entertainment. I just want to let the people know I have failed forward from my singing career. Right?
See how I
I'm transitioning, so we have to go back to something.
Listen, that is karaoke, and that's the limit, okay? That's the only singing
Oh boy.
that he needs to commit to. I'm just saying. But, you know, I'm still going to encourage you if you
All
decide
right.
to go there. So, before we close out, though, I do want to say, again, intentional living is very important. That is the basis of all of what we've talked about today. And I like to also explain the difference, or explain the differentiation, rather, between being intentional and having intent. And a lot of us just have intent. And that means that you plan, right? You plan, you have an idea, but you're not in action. And to be intentional means to be in action.
Okay.
So you're acting out those things that you intended. So when I say be intentional, or if I say intentional living, that means that you are being that thing, you're living it. And so I hope that from these virtual tea, the virtual tea and the live tea, that you are gathering enough information from the resources that I've shared with you, so that you can be intentional in life.
Nice. I like that. No, I like that. It's good.
Yes.
It's a good thought.
You got them quiet, and that
I
doesn't
am.
happen often.
I like it. We need more of that. We want more.
Yeah. So with that final thought, I wish you intentional living in your life and your business, and everything that you touch turns to gold. If you want to contact me, feel free. Again, the website is www.drjatun, and that's Dr. Jatun Dorsey. I'm sorry, I gave you Dorsey. It's not the full name. It's drjatun.com, okay? And you can also find the Dorseys on drjatun.com. So just look for that tab, and you can find out more about us as speakers, as coaches, and the things that we're doing. You can also follow me on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at drjatun. And I hope to see you connected with me, with us, so that we can, you know, be intentional together.
Be intentional.
Anytime.
Make it. Come out to the tea.
Please do.
If there are there any tickets, seats remaining?
Just a few, so limited seats, and again, it's only in a couple days here. So if you want to claim your seats, please do so today. And again, you can go to my website and you can find the link there. Look for the Intentional Living tab on the website, and there you will find a link to purchase your ticket and your friend's ticket.
All right. All right.
Okay, so talk to you later. Thank you all for joining. Bye.
Bye.